Hey everybody, welcome to episode 15 of Two Bitches on a Bench who are actually on a retaining wall along the banks of the Bow River on a warm Tuesday evening in June. Yes. And today's podcast, surprisingly enough, is going to be titled in translation, that is, there's always tomorrow.
Oh.
Apparently we have two different ideas of what we're speaking about today. If I may digress for just a moment.
We haven't even started anything, so sure, digress from nothing.
Okay, so have you read The Secret?
No.
Okay.
Have you read The Secret?
I have audibled The Secret, now worth time, and I've watched the movie. However, I need to digress from that for a moment because what I'm about to say...
You're digressing from a digression? Okay.
Because what I'm about to say is not very secret of me.
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand the lack of common sense in people today. When I was driving to come to meet you, the amount of, stupidity was stupid. Yes. Do you have anything to say about that? Okay, here's an example. We just stopped to get coffee, and we were sitting outside on a bench, actually. Bench, the higher ground bench, which is where this all started. And this chick comes. She rode her bike, fine. She gets off her bike, and she sits at a table that is right near the bench that we're sitting at, where there's a ton of other places to sit, but she sits right there, facing us. Which I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you, if you're going to sit there, fine, but why wouldn't you sit in a chair that's not looking straight onto us?
No brain cells. I'm going to digress from your digression.
Yes.
And just say, you had made a comment. Oh, fire department folks. Whee!
Hi, fire department folks.
That you had listened to our podcast and that it's really hard to tell the difference between you and I.
Yes.
So I'm really going to try to lower my voice down so that we know the difference. So, digression done.
Okay. Okay, so the title of this podcast, There's Always Tomorrow. What does that mean to you?
Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? And then tomorrow never comes. I'm still waiting for tomorrow. Like Annie.
Shall I sing?
No.
Okay, why do you think we do that?
Because we're life lazy.
That's bad.
And we're complacent. And we're comfortable. And we don't want to reach our potential. For some reason. I don't know. Like that, lady.
Okay, first of all, yeah, true, life lazy, and that's terrible. I'm going to actually have to use that and write it down so that I remember it and
TM, bitch number 2. You owe me. Pay me my dollar bills.
I think... Okay, do you want me to speak about myself or do you want me to speak about you?
Well, whatever you're most comfortable with, which would probably be me, so.
Okay, so for you, I think for you, you're afraid. I think you're afraid of leaving your comfort zone. I think you're afraid of change.
Yes.
I think you're afraid of the possibility of actually being outrageously happy and excited over life.
Well, I don't know what that means. Isn't this what life is supposed to be? You drudge to work every day. Set your alarm for 5:30 so that you can wash your hair after 25 days of not washing it and it being really super itchy. So you set your alarm for 5:30 and you're like, tomorrow is the day I'm going to wash my hair. I'm actually going to put makeup on this mug. And 5:30 comes around, snooze, snooze, snooze. And before you know it, it's 10 to 7 and you're like, well, crap. I don't have time to shower. I don't have time to do my hair. I barely have time to get my lunch made. So,
Ew. Was that your morning this morning?
and yesterday morning.
Oh,
6:50 both mornings.
gross.
I also went to bed. I didn't go to sleep, but I went to bed at like 7 o'clock last night,
Yeah,
which
'cause
isn't unheard of.
you didn't. I sent you a couple of messages and you didn't answer.
I was snoozing.
It was rude.
I'm very
your,
sorry.
You had your phone on. You do not answer.
It's called Do Not Disturb. Get it right. It's the little moon symbol for those of you who have an iPhone. Comes in handy. Anywho, yeah.
Okay, well, not today, but yesterday I slept till my alarm and it threw my whole morning off. Totally not a way to start a Monday.
Yeah, but you're also one of those people who is so set in your routine, that one little thing, and you're like, nah, the whole day has gone to hell. Aren't you?
Because I slept to my alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, what's the point of having the alarm? Why not set your alarm for the earlier time then? And then just hit snooze.
Because I don't generally get up to an alarm. The alarm is a safeguard.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
People, she also sets all of her clocks 20 minutes fast so that she's never late. I get that is potentially a good thing to have, but in this day and age, is that really, besides the fact she's never been a person who runs late. So not only is she already early for an appointment, she's extra early because all of her clocks are set 20 minutes ahead.
Not all of them. Just the one in the car.
Well, you don't have analog clocks anymore.
There's a fish.
Yeah, there was just a fish that just went bloop, like it did a little catchy thing. That was cool.
Okay. So back to you.
As always.
As
It's
always.
all about me.
I think you're afraid of potential.
Potentially.
I was waiting for that. And I think you're afraid of success because you're afraid of success because of you have to keep going at it, and you'd be afraid then of failure.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd rather just sit idly and say, this isn't enough, I want more, but not do anything about it. And also because you are comfortable in being in a mediocre situation, right?
Potentially.
Because then you can't be disappointed, because there's no expectation.
And yet, I still do have expectations, and I get relatively perturbed when expectations are not met, especially by people. People are shitty. Anywho, yes, this is, I am in concurrence with your bombardance of factoids.
Holy moly, that was a mouthful of words and you got it all out.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
I'm impressive.
Okay, so let's use a few examples. Okay, hold on. Because I took a screenshot of actually I took a couple of screenshots of conversation that we had late last week. We were talking about...
Leave it to this day and age of having your words over text message, which is private, to come back and bite you in the arse.
Exactly.
Thanks, Mom.
Check Megsy Sunshine's Instagram page where she posts our conversations of stuff that I say.
I want to turn them into terrible comics because they're so funny.
Okay, so last week we were talking about, I think the conversation started about not knowing what to have to eat.
What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? Well, I don't
No.
know. What do you want?
No, this was text message and it was during the day because we were at work. I remember this, I was sitting at my desk. And, okay, so here's what you had said. You said, yep, sure are. Do I have the money? No. Do I enjoy it? No. Do I know better? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this?
Yes. Because we were talking about why we eat shitty.
Okay.
And specifically we were talking because I ordered Skip the Dishes, which is like Uber Eats. I ordered that 3 times last week. That also doesn't include the times that I went out to eat, which was multiple. So that's where, if you read it again...
Okay, yep, sure are. Okay, so that was the first thing you had said.
Yeah.
I didn't copy before that for whatever reason. But then I responded and I said, am I wasting my money on takeout and groceries?
Yeah.
Yes. Do I enjoy the food?
No.
No. Do I know better?
Yeah.
Yes. Do I know how to fix it? No.
Wait, that was you.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
And then you said, do I know how to fix it? Yes. Do I know why I can't? No. And then I responded and I said, yeah, that's a better way to ask for it for sure. And then I said, do I know why I can't? Yes. Why? No self-value or respect. There's always tomorrow. Why do I feel that way? I don't know.
Preach it, sister. Mother. Bitch.
Mofo. Yeah, let's just get to the point. It's mofo. Okay, so food is one thing.
Yes.
Working out is another. I do stuff. I don't exert myself by any means. And I'll do, my walking 10 minutes. And then...
Well, but again, I say to you, 10 minutes is better than nothing. 10 minutes is good. The fact that you were able to get off your ass and do some sort of cardiovascular exercise is good.
My resistance bands that I did for tomorrow, for the day after, for a week from next
That's
Tuesday
another
for next-
issue. Don't confuse. Don't confuse.
So, but I'll say to myself, okay, I'm going to do a longer workout. I'm going to get back into like a regular workout, minimum 20 minutes, 25. And then I'll tell myself, okay, tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow. And then, tomorrow never comes. I do that with food. Tomorrow I'm going to eat better.
Okay.
I don't.
However, something like food takes planning though. I feel like it's a little bit harder with working out because you can do all those things. Former guest on this, not this podcast, but your other podcast, your sister podcast.
Why are you shaking your head?
Well, I'm
like
trying
that?
Christopher, and he would always say to me, do the little steps to get yourself in the habit. So even if that means you put out your workout clothes,
Yeah.
you put them out.
Yeah.
So you make that into a habit every day where you put them out. You don't have to do anything with them. You just put them out.
Yeah.
Then, once you've done that, then you can start to get in the habit of putting the clothes on.
Yeah.
Do that every day. Put the clothes on. Put the clothes on. Put the clothes on. Then you kind of get to the point of you've got the clothes on. Now maybe you go out for a walk in your clothes. So it's like those little things to build it up.
You're supposed to wear clothes when you go for a walk?
Oh, I mean your workout clothes.
Oh.
Do this.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's just it's that kind of thing of like, so for you with with food, I think that's what you need to do is even if you pack yourself something and you don't end up eating it and you decide to go to a grocery store and get a sandwich instead, at least you've made it and you put it together.
That's true. Okay, so here's another.
Even sorry, on those days, like, it seems like you guys get lunch brought in quite a bit, which is really nice.
Yeah, it hasn't been as much this summer, but yeah.
So even on those days, maybe you still bring in your lunch.
Yeah. That's
I don't
true.
know.
Okay, so food is one thing. Working Whiffington's Post quarters just went by and he doesn't like it. Okay, so working out, food. My other one is water. And
I bought you this really cool water bottle. They're not a sponsor yet. It's called the Hydrate Spark, and it's really, really cool. They're super, super pretty bottles, and they have a little sensor in it, and it actually tells you, you connect it to an app, and then it actually tells you, it'll both light up and send you funny little notifications on your phone that's like, hey, you're not a cactus, drink some water. Stuff like that, so that you know to drink, and then you can actually set your goal, and then when you reach your goal of water every day, it's like, hey, celebrate, woo-hoo.
oh, did they do that?
Yeah.
I've never reached my goal.
So it's really cool. They were moderately expensive just with the exchange, but I thought they were really, really cool. So I got you one for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then my birthday was a month later, and you got me one because you liked it so much. But now both of us, I think we've just kind of like, meh.
I take mine every day.
I don't.
But mine is sitting at home. I think I took 2 sips of it.
Right.
Out of it today.
And so even despite the fact that it lights up red and says, drink me, and sends you notifications being like, hey fool, drink me, it doesn't, it's not, because it's the same thing with me too.
Okay, so, and
My only, if I may digress, my only qualm with it is that it doesn't keep the water cold. That's my only qualm.
Well, you could put the bottle itself in the fridge, but without the thing in it, but then that would whack out its tracking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the thing that I was going to say about water, that has to be the easiest thing. The easiest thing to do.
Yep.
And I still can't do it.
Yep.
Because I'm a moron. So my question is why? Why?
Well, because it's the thing that you said about the self-worth thing.
Which is stupid. Well, isn't it stupid?
Be that as it may. Yes.
Uh-oh. Digression again. Sorry. It's okay.
You're making this very difficult.
And we're back. We just took a short intermission because there was a lot of external interference. So, okay. So now this leads me into something else. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Have you read The Secret?
No! Neither have you.
I beg your pardon.
You've ogled it.
I've not read it with my eyes. I've read it with my ears.
Whoa.
So, the whole thing of it is law of attraction.
Yeah. It's also like another book, which I prefer, called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting.
Yeah, I should read that again.
It's a great book. Lynn Grabhorn. Anyway.
What's her name?
Lynn Grabhorn.
Right.
She died, so it's very sad. Anyway.
So, I've been trying to practice the whole concept of law of attraction, like attract like, think positive thoughts, more positive will come to you.
Yeah.
You have to ask, believe, and receive is the premise behind it.
What if you don't believe?
Then it doesn't work.
Okay, well look. Arsh.
Have you read the book?
No.
Maybe you should read the book. Okay.
Okay, here's the thing. We have talked about this before. I'm way more of kind of a scientific person.
That is scientific.
Hang on. Don't interrupt me. I'm on a roll.
You're on a retaining wall.
So for me, it's very much a little bit more woo-woo because it's, it's got all the like ooh kind of music attached to it, and it's all like,
That's the movie, not the book.
hang on. And it's, I don't know, like, there's the one guy on it, and you can tell he's like a crusty old man, and he's like, I got the life I want. My wife is a knockout. My life is a knockout. I've got a house that's just to die for. And he's kind of an ass about it. So that turned me off of it, and I was like, really, dude? Really? And then it's very much just sort of like, feel it and it will be, feel it will be. And for me, for the other book, she talks way more about actual like physicsy stuff, and she's got anecdotes that are kind of a little bit more simple. Like they're these sort of anecdotes that are more like baby steps instead of just being like, yeah, I had my dream house and now it's a knockout. Like, how do you go from a 500 square foot apartment to a 50,000 square foot home, you know? Anyway, don't interrupt me, I'm on a roll. But in the other book, she talks about she had a friend whose son was in Little League, and she would go to his games, and he was just like this little kid, like kind of considered the runt of the team. And he would get up there, and everybody would be like holding their breath, being like, oh, he's gonna strike out. Every single time he hit the ball and just like cracked it, and it would be a home run. And it would happen every single time he was up to bat. So afterward, she went up to him, like after seeing one game of his, she went up to him and she's like, how did you do that? Like, this is incredible. And he said, like, this is a little kid, and he's like, well, I just get up there and I imagine what it would feel like for me to hit the ball, and I just do. You know, so it's something little like that. Like, you just get up there, and it's not about visualizing. It's not about believe and ask and receive and shave your legs and dye your hair and condition and that kind of thing. It's just very much like you actually put yourself into that moment and you feel it. You feel what it's like.
Okay, well that's the same premise.
Because
They talk about if you have a dream home,
yeah,
you go to an open house.
Okay.
And you walk through it,
Well,
and you
that's
feel
easy.
yourself living there.
That's
If
easy.
there's a particular car that you want, you go and you take it for a test drive.
Okay.
You wrap your hands on that steering wheel and you drive it. So
Okay,
you
see,
feel it.
that's something more tangible. I just couldn't get past within like the first couple chapters, because I think I only got through chapter 3, and I was like, yeah, where they were going, feel, or not feel it, but ask, receive, believe,
No, you got it in
whatever. Bar? No. Ask, ABR. Ask, believe, receive, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find that really not tangible and really kind of woo-woo, and that's not something that I can actually grab my hands on and be like, okay.
Oops. Somebody just took out a sign banner that there was some people
What an idiot.
had set up to, I think they're giving out water or a drink of some sort, and some guy
What
rode
a
by on his bike
dum-dum.
and took it out.
You guys, we have had some interesting moments along here. There was some sort of like art piece where it was a big giant rubber ball. Like, think about those dodge balls that you used to get to play with, those good red rubber ones, but it was gigantic. Like, huge. How tall would you say it was? 20 feet? 15
Yeah.
feet maybe?
No, probably 20.
Yeah.
Because it fit under the
Yeah.
walking pedestrian
Yeah,
thing.
so it was this big giant rubber ball that was 15 feet high. So you imagine how big it was radiusally. And some dum-dum on rollerblades apparently missed this gigantic thing and rollerbladed right into it. And you know what those balls sound like when they're hand size. So imagine them being like 50 times the size. It was the greatest moment all summer.
Yeah.
I still almost pee myself laughing.
It was
I know
pretty
that that's not the secreting, but I don't care. That was so worth it. I'm sure lots of people laugh when we do stupid stuff, though.
Well, it's the common sense of it. It's like, how on earth? Like, were you trying to do that? Did you?
No, but that's the thing. Like, it was just completely organic, and the sound it made.
It was pretty hilarious.
Oh my god, it was so good.
And then he bent his rollerblades.
Oh yeah, so he had to like hobble on his rollerblades because apparently he's a dum dum. It was so good, guys. So good. So good. So a little insight into why I am the way I am, because Schadenfreude.
Karma.
That's not karma. Schadenfreude is the German word for getting pleasure out of people's pain.
You're terrible.
Well,
Oh, a little doggy for me. Okay, so back to the point at hand then. If you can grasp and understand the concept of, excuse me, your life is waiting, why don't you read that again?
Yeah, no, I will. I've even got it. I've got everything. I've got it by book, and I've got it on audiobook. And
How did you get it on audiobook?
iTunes. I bought it on iTunes.
Oh, I see, but you didn't share it with me.
I bought this years
even
ago.
though I share all of my stuff
I bought
with
that like 2 years ago. Anyway, we can share it. It's fine. No big deal. Woof.
Arf. I go by Arf.
Yes. No, I know. It also just takes practice. Like, so she also says, and excuse me, your life is waiting. And this is another thing why I quite enjoy it, is because she says all it takes is 16 seconds. 16 seconds, you just sit in it. You just sit in that feeling, whatever it is. If you're imagining... See, I'm even having trouble dreaming right now. Give me something relatively low. Like something...
For you or for me?
It just doesn't matter. Like something that you imagine...
I imagine spending my winters on the beach in California.
Okay, well that's not small, but...
Okay,
but if you imagine that...
Okay, wait. I imagine... Yeah, okay, let's just do that.
Okay, so 16 seconds, let's say. So each time you think about that, and you like get into that feeling, and you get all like cozy in there, and imagining yourself with like your little daiquiri, and your feet all up, and your water wings, just in case the tide comes in, sitting on a chair with your umbrella, whenever you imagine that, you sit in that for 16 seconds, uninterrupted. And apparently that's like the magic number of actually properly getting into that whole making the energy work.
So is that a part of manifesting then?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not just going to be one 16-second thing where you're like, I imagine myself on a beach on a 10,000 square foot homestead. You do it once for 16 seconds and you're like, hey, where is it? No, it's like, you think about it. Think about it multiple times a day, but each time you do it, make sure you do it for at least 16 seconds. The longer you do it, the more powerful it is. See, and that's another reason why I like, excuse me, your life is waiting, because it's like, it's very, very specific to that. And it's like, not to that, but it's very specific, where they're like, hey, you think about it multiple times a day. When you think about it, take a little bit longer. Instead of just being like, yeah, that would be nice. 5 seconds goes by and you don't think about it. No. You give yourself, 30 seconds or a minute to really get in there and like marinate in that feeling. And then that's like the magic to it.
Okay. So
and then my guess is it just becomes habit. Like you just get used to that, and it's just like these are like the baby steps to manifesting. Excuse me, your life is waiting.
Okay, so the concept behind both is energy.
Yes.
And why? Because our bodies are energy.
Our bodies are particles, which is also energy, but yes, our bodies are particles, so they vibrate.
Yeah.
And so when we're vibrating,
you're either vibrating high or you're vibrating low.
So if you're
Low
vibrating at a high frequency, yay! If you're high vibrating at a low frequency, and then because in physics, like attracts like, that's what you get.
Okay, so here's where I get confused, and you're probably not going to be able to help me with this, but
how dare you?
But you might have a idea or thought.
Insight?
Potentially.
Yes, potentially me.
So, don't be shaking my microphone. So, what you just said about, excuse me, your life is waiting. 16 seconds, and you don't do it just once, you do it over and over again.
Yeah.
That is not the same as what The Secret says, because in it, there's a part that it goes through this thing about, it's like having a catalog. And if there's something that you want, So you're flipping through the catalog. Okay.
It's the universe catalog, is like what they said, that the universe can give you anything.
Yeah, okay, so I'm flipping through the universe catalog, and I'm picturing myself that I am driving a 2018 Bentley GT convertible, blah, blah, blah. K catalog, this is what I want. They say you only do that once, because in real life, if you order out of a catalog, you don't order the same item several times, unless you're me.
Yeah.
It means it's
okay, but see, and this is also, because I remember that, and I was like, I don't know that I agree with that, because so what they're saying is you're just like, okay, this is what I want. I want to have, I want to have a podcast or a YouTube video series that has 25 million subscribers, and I get paid $1 million a month. You can't just do that once and be like, okay, I'm waiting. Like that, I think that's part of the issue that I had, that they're like, they make it seem like there's no work to it. You can't tell me that there's no work to it.
Well, and that's
and
the whole
it's
thing.
it's like that guy, that assholey guy on The Secret. He did something with like chicken soup books or something.
He's one of the authors of Chicken Soup.
Yeah,
that's how he made his first $100,000.
Okay, but you can't tell me that didn't take work.
Okay.
So he was just like, yeah, I want $1 million, and then he was just like, okay, I'm gonna sit in my armchair now and wait. I'm gonna sit in my IKEA chair and wait for my antique to come.
The story behind that was apparently he had written the first book.
Yeah.
And he had put it away and forgotten about it. And then there was something that him and his wife had learned about The Secret,
Mm-hmm.
and they had tried whatever. It was something small, and I can't remember at this point what it was. And then she had said, well, do you think it'll work for more money? Like if a dollar versus whatever dollars. And he goes, well, it's worth a shot. So then he said he wanted to make $100,000. And he remembered the book, and he got the book published, and he ended up, the first book sold, it was
And it wasn't 100,000. It was just shy.
Don't be my mother. That's my mother comment. Yeah, he made $99,400 and something thousand. But the point was that it worked.
Okay, so then, based on that, they're completely discrediting the fact that he had done any work. Like this is to me. I don't know. Like, I'm not. If I could be life lazy forever and get everything I want, like the Kardashians, sure, absolutely. Like, bring it on me. But that is how I live my life now, and I am definitely not a Kardashian. So obviously there's some sort of disconnect here, you know?
You got Kardashian bum and boob. That count?
You cut that out. That's rude. That was mean.
I'm kidding.
But I don't know. I just find it too good to be true. And I am a cynic anyway, and that I find too good to be true. But then so putting that aside, we know that I'm a cynic. You are a little bit more like, yeah, woo, 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 Enya music.
What kind of music?
Enya.
Okay.
Why don't you then The Secret yourself better eating habits?
I've never tried it.
Well, why don't you do that? Here's a test for you, and then you can come back and say how it went. Why don't you The Secret yourself drinking water?
Is that the same type of thing though?
Well, why not?
I guess it
Going
can
through a
be
catalog? I want to drink more water.
Well, I guess.
I want to be drinking 1.5 liters of water every day.
Oh, sorry, is that plane going high fast?
No.
Like, is he really slanted?
No.
Okay, maybe it's just me.
It's just you. You got to stop drinking.
Coffee.
You got to stop hitting the bottle so hard.
Coffee.
The kombucha bottle.
Ooh, yeah.
Anyway. Well, why don't you give it a try?
Okay.
Because I'm curious, what specifically, going through a catalog, what have you manifested? And I'm not trying to be judgy or be like, haha, I told you so, but I'm actually very curious. What have you manifested?
Nothing, but now that you say it like that and you put that out there like that, I don't think I have said I want, or I wish, oh, I wish I could have that, oh, I wish my life was this. That doesn't go.
Well, doesn't I wish put that in the negative I don't have context?
Yes, and that's probably why I don't have, because that's my fault that I've done it that way. I've tried really hard to change from being super, super negative all the time and being able to twist stuff into a negative thing.
And how's that going?
Actually, I think it's going pretty well. I'm not 100% there yet, but I think I've done better.
Okay.
I catch myself like driving as an example, and somebody will do something dumb, like driving down Glenmore Trail, 3 lanes of traffic, speed limit's 80, you're coming up in the fast lane, and somebody will pull over from the middle lane in front of you, and there's a mile of vacant space behind you, but they have to pull in front of you, and then they slow down to 50. It's like, why did you do that? And I swear at them in my car, they don't hear me, and then I catch myself, I'm like, no, that's not it.
So you can manifest non-crappy drivers? But no, I'm actually asking.
No, because the point of it is that they have said very specifically that you cannot manifest something for somebody else.
Right, but you're manifesting non-crappy drivers on your drive.
No, apparently I'm manifesting crappy drivers.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is your whole thing is, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, so you
So it's not like you can manifest somebody to be a better driver. Good luck.
Well, all you would do with that, if that's what you were thinking, it would manifest onto yourself. You would be the better driver. I can't manifest something for you because it would end up being for me because it's my energy.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to get onto that. I lost that track.
Okay, well, let's go back. What if you manifest for yourself?
Drinking more water.
Drinking more water.
Okay, so now...
So you need to, like, sit there and be like, how does it feel to open up my bottle and take a big gulp? And then, like, ooh, I get so thirsty. And then you take another big swig. And then, you're like, ooh, I need to drink some more water again. I'm feeling thirsty. So you drink some more, and then you've gone through an entire bottle.
Here's the interesting thing about that, sort of. There was an article or something that you sent me probably about a month ago. And it was about I can't remember exactly what it was about, but the point of it was this lady who had, I think it was just simply by drinking more water, and it showed a before and after of her skin.
It's on Instagram.
Yeah, so I upped my water intake on my app, thank you, to match hers.
Because she was drinking a gallon.
She drinks 5 of those bottles a day.
5 hydrate bottles?
Yes.
Which I believe are 750 mils.
They're 72 ounces, whatever that is. Because I go in ounces. I know, but that's what I do. Anyway, so I upped mine. Well, since I've done that, I've barely drank a bottle.
Right. Okay.
So maybe I need to put it back to 3 and see if I can get there and then increase it. But I had a point to that.
What if you did 1?
1 bottle?
Yeah. Get yourself through 1 bottle. And then once you do that, maybe for a week, then you can up it to 2. Awesome. You do that for a couple weeks. Okay, this is going well so far. Because then the other part of it too is you're like, no, because I'll have to pee. Well, then you're manifesting your need to pee. If you really want to take it that way, take it that far. You're like, ooh, it's like being stuck on an airplane or being stuck in a car with a Nazi where you're not allowed to pee. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm going to explode. There is going to be urine coming from my eyeballs pretty soon. I will have no eyes because they'll just go with urine.
Oh, that just brings back really bad memories.
Yeah.
That's a hard trip.
So So by you thinking that, you're probably already predetermining yourself to be like, I gotta pee.
You know what the worst part about that is?
What?
Driving from Santa Monica to LA, I had to pee so bad, but that whole childhood thing was so stuck in my brain that I had myself convinced that I, as the driver, couldn't stop to pee.
Right. Which you could have.
dumb.
We could have gone to a gas station. We could have stopped somewhere in Beverly Hills. Like,
Yeah.
no problems. But instead, you were absolutely miserable.
Oh,
I'm thinking about when we're, for those of you who know, when you're on Santa Monica Boulevard heading east into like West Hollywood, and we're right by the Beverly Hilton, and that's all I can think of is I'm trying to talk to you, and you're like, no, I can't talk, I gotta pee. No. I'm like, are you okay? You're like, no, I'll be fine. Like, just very, very terse, as if every single syllable that bounces out of your mouth means a little bit more dribblet of pee comes out. Like, I don't know, at that point, why don't you just pee yourself? Like, no worries, just pee yourself.
I was contemplating pulling into an alley,
Right.
to be honest, because my teeth...
Because there's nowhere to stop in LA to go pee. That's just a barren desert there.
Anyway, okay, so I have a question then,
Mhm.
with respect to the water thing.
Yes.
So, again, back to The Secret. They also talk, there's a section in there that they talk about vision boards.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Get a picture of a nice, big, healthy bladder. That'll be on your vision board.
put that up on my office wall.
Yeah.
Nice.
A really nice bidet.
You just like saying that
I
word.
do like saying bidet. Bidet to you.
So, like, do you do a vision page with a water bottle and, you know,
People
dripples of
drinking water, maybe. Like cool water bottles.
or a glass of sparkly water
Yeah.
with lemon and lime slices in
Yep.
it,
Like
stuff like that.
Perrier, and maybe like you know, if you can find those before and after pictures of people with like really nice skin, or before and after drinking water in terms of like changes in body and stuff, why not? Why not? Your vision board can be anything, can't it? As long as it
Yeah.
inspires you.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that tonight when I go home. What are you laughing at?
It's just I'm intrigued to see how this experiment goes.
So am I.
Because this is something that is definitely in your control. And I'm the same way too. I know that I should be drinking way more water than I do.
Well, at least you drink some.
Yeah, I drink
Or
some,
someone else.
but that also I don't drink enough, and I know I don't drink enough. And I'm just interested to see how this goes. For somebody like you who just perceives this as being impossible for you to drink more than a sip of water once every 12 hours. And you sleep the other 12. So one sip of water a day. And when I say a sip, we're talking about the girl, the lady, the person who drinks shots, like let's say tequila shots with a straw. So when we say sip, we mean like a little tiny sip. The literal definition of sip.
Yes, it's true. Okay, so on that note then,
This isn't about me anymore, this is about you.
yeah, apparently, and that's why we're going to end the podcast, because you put me on the spot.
Nah.
But I want to try it.
Okay.
I want to see if it'll work, because I believe in the concept of The Secret. I really, really do. There's just bits and pieces of it that puzzle me and
Yep.
baffle me.
And don't make no sense.
I wish there was someone who really, really, really understood it, like the lady who wrote the book.
That or someone who actually did it. I've got to say though, I feel like with somebody who, in this case, she's written this book and sold millions of copies, she's probably a bajillionaire by now.
Yeah,
I would rather have somebody who isn't in that position.
right.
Rather somebody who maybe they're not a bajillionaire, and they've created this cult of people who follow this thing that is a little bit woo-woo, a little bit out there. Like, people are generally pretty divided on, it's amazing, it's the greatest thing ever, and it's total BS.
Yes. Okay.
I'm one of those
I know.
interesting people who's kind of right in the middle.
So, if there's anybody out there who's listening or knows of someone who has practiced The Secret and has
Or,
success with it,
excuse me, your life is waiting.
or excuse me, your life is waiting. Plug for both books. Rhonda Byrne, The Secret, Lynn Grabhorn, excuse me, your license waiting. If anybody knows of anyone who has practiced the either the
Manifesting.
yes and had success, please reach out.
Or
Because
even
we
didn't have success.
Or didn't have success. True.
Don't be so obtuse. Let's be inclusive.
We're all inclusive here. Yeah, reach out because we would really like to talk to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, it's a little late, but I would like to wish my father in heaven a very belated Happy Father's Day.
Very belated. Jeez.
2 days.
I would not have fingers or toes if I waited this long to wish you Happy Mother's Day.
You didn't wish me Happy Father's Day. Let's go.
You're not my father.
You're not my dad! But anyway, I hope you had a wonderful day, Papa, and I hope you had fun and did all the things that you love to do that we're never allowed to, and you filled your face with barbecued peanuts and
Watch the Addams Family.
watched the Addams Family and ate black licorice.
Yeah.
On that note, we are signing off from the banks of the Bow River on this Tuesday.
Where
Beautiful.
Shivers 1 and Shivers 2 are shivering up a storm.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We will have another episode of this. We also have to follow up on how your Whole30 goes.
Ha!
Yeah. So we'll do another podcast on that because I would like to offer my 2 cents worth on that one with my start of second round that didn't go well.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.